You have been removed from the table. Not because you were not worthy, not because you lacked value, but because heaven has seen what you couldn't. You have been seen, heard, and protected. If you're reading this, pause. Be still. Take a breath, for this message was divinely orchestrated to reach you now. You have not stumbled upon these words by accident. This is your spiritual wake-up call, your heavenly confirmation. Angelic hands have carried this truth through realms to reach you, because it was time. Someone prayed for you before you ever arrived. Someone whispered your name in the ear of God before you knew who you were. Someone wept on your behalf before your heart even knew it would be wounded. The heavens have never left you alone. And when your spirit began to dim beneath the weight of silent betrayals, when your soul quietly groaned in places you couldn't explain, heaven moved. You sat at tables where you were never celebrated. You served without recognition. You poured into others while running on empty. You stayed loyal to those who only tolerated you. You smiled while they gossiped. You supported while they secretly plotted. You stayed when your peace had long since left. Why? Because you believed love meant endurance. You believed suffering was spiritual. You believed that to be good meant to be silent. But no more. This is your shift, your spiritual intervention. You were removed from the table because God saw the poison served with polite smiles. He heard the conversations that never included your name, but always included your story. You were removed because your light was too loud for their insecurities. You were removed because your favor was too obvious, too potent, too disruptive for their control. But what they saw as subtraction, God has called elevation. They whispered lies while you wept in prayer. They made decisions in secret while you stayed faithful. They thought silence meant superiority. But heaven doesn't ignore sincerity. Every tear you cried roared in the ears of angels. Every groan of your soul triggered a spiritual reaction. The divine court gathered. The Spirit of God hovered, and the decision was made. Remove my child. Not as punishment, but as preservation. You didn't lose your place. You outgrew it. The atmosphere shifted because your presence could no longer be confined. Your spirit could not be manipulated. Your anointing could not be mimicked. The gift God placed in you started speaking too loud for their comfort. And so they did what broken hearts do when they cannot control the divine. They pushed it away. But rejoice, because God is setting a new table. One where your name is written in light. One where your voice will echo in truth. One where your tears will be wiped by the very hand of God. One where no one will need to be convinced of your worth, because they will see it radiate. You do not need to perform anymore. You do not need to shrink anymore. You do not need to carry people who only want access, not alignment. This message is your release. This word is your permission. You were removed because the feast ahead is greater than the crumbs you used to call blessings. Let them talk. Let them speculate. Let them wonder why you vanished, why you no longer show up, why your silence now speaks louder than your service ever did. The answer is simple. God intervened. Your heart was too precious to bleed any longer. Your purpose too significant to be distracted anymore. Someone knows what happened. They were in the room. They stayed silent. And though they smile in your face, their spirit knows the truth. Let them live with that. You don't need to prove anything. Their memory will remind them of what they lost. You are moving forward, not with bitterness, but with brilliance. Not with revenge, but with release. Your instincts weren't wrong. Your spirit wasn't overreacting. That discomfort, That was discernment. That sadness? That was spiritual tension. Heaven was shifting you, stretching you, preparing you, and now you must let go. Stop reopening what God has already closed. Stop fighting for what you were only assigned to bless temporarily. Let go with peace. Let the false friendships expire. Let the invitations dry up. Let the rooms grow quiet. Not every silence is a loss. Some are holy. Some are healing. Some are the pause before the divine presentation. And your presentation is near. You will sit again. But this time, not at a table that tolerates you, but one that celebrates you. Not one built by manipulation and politics, but one crafted by purpose and purity. You are not who they said you were. You are who God knows you to be, and heaven is getting ready to show the world. Those who bet against you will witness your rise, not to shame them, but to show them that God does not play favorites, but He does favor the faithful. Your tears have been counted, your silence recorded, your battles noted. And now your honor is being restored. Don't chase what broke you. Don't yearn for what forgot you. Don't beg for the seat God has already removed. You don't need to knock on closed doors. Your new room has a door God Himself will open. And when you enter, you will know this was worth the pain. You are not late. You are not overlooked. You are not forgotten. You are protected. You are preserved. You are positioned, and you are about to be presented. Angel says, "Do not mourn the table that no longer fits your spirit. Rejoice for the throne being prepared. Rejoice for the oil that's about to overflow. Rejoice for the banquet ahead. You were removed not as rejection, but as redirection. Not as abandonment, but as alignment. Not as defeat, but as deliverance. So now, walk, with your head high, with your heart healed, with your faith full, because heaven has made room for you. And what you're walking into? It will silence every lie, heal every wound, and fulfill every promise. You were never unworthy. You were simply chosen. And now the world will watch as heaven does what only heaven can do. Turn a rejected soul into a radiant vessel. This is your moment. Receive it. Amen.